Dick Armey is a former Republican congressman. In fact, he was one of the top leadership positions there. And then he ran FreedomWorks. FreedomWorks is a right-wing Tea Party organization. They claim to be grassroots. Of course, a majority of their money comes from the Koch brothers and other rich Republicans throughout the country. Now, they do dupe thousands of Republicans who don't have a lot of money to donate to this cause, which they then funnel to their friends. Well, it turns out we now know, because of Dick Armey, who some of those friends are. He says they had a program for, quote, embedded media. That sounds interesting. So who is the embedded media for FreedomWorks and these right-wing rich donors? You're not going to be surprised to find out. Glenn Beck. He says, quote, this is Dick Armey talking to Media Matters. These are his direct quotes, the guy who ran FreedomWorks. The arrangement was simply FreedomWorks paid Glenn Beck money, and Glenn Beck said nice things about FreedomWorks on the air. Bingo. Now, this is exactly what Beck and other conservative hosts always say about the left-wingers. They say, oh, yeah, those left-wing guys, they all get paid by Soros. Now, we don't. We've never gotten a dime from Soros, and we always joke around about it. I never met Soros. I wish he'd pay us, but he doesn't, right? Not even close, right? It turns out the reason they say that is because that's how they work. They think, all right, I take $1 million from these rich Republicans and then I do whatever they tell me to do and I say nice things about on air. Now remember, this is supposed to be an independent broadcast by Glenn Beck. I mean, he is telling you as he sees it. He's a principled man. Unless, of course, you give him $1 million, in which case he says, on air, oh, FreedomWorks. What a wonderful grassroots organization. FreedomWorks. And by the way, he also did joint rallies with them. He would bring on Matt Kibbe, which is one of the leaders of FreedomWorks, to talk about it, etc. Glenn Beck will do anything you want if you give him enough money. So how much money did they give him? Well, Dick Armey explains that too. I saw that $1 million went to Beck this past year. That was the annual expenditure. $1 million. Mother Jones is a great story on it too, where they showed the FreedomWorks documents. We had the documents. And it says that Glenn Beck is getting all this money. By the way, Beck is not alone. Who else is getting the money? Rush Limbaugh. But I'm sure they are just independent voices who just happen to love FreedomWorks and all the rich people that they stand for, just as a wild coincidence. But it's not just the money that they give them flat out in terms of cash. They also explained the organization plans to continue its financial support for Glenn Beck's media enterprise, including sharing a TV studio with and leasing office space to the Washington Bureau of the Blaze, Beck's website, and TV network. And I swear we had conversations on air here at the Young Turks about where in the world is Glenn Beck getting all this money to run this giant network when they can't possibly be making that much money in ad sales or membership fees or anything like that? Turns out he's getting it from these right-wing donors to do their bidding for them. Everything they've ever said about liberals is what they actually do themselves. And now that leads to point number two. These are the same guys who are like, oh, Air America can't make it on air. Oh, they don't understand how the markets work. You got to be able to survive in the markets. What happened, big guy? It turns out you don't survive in the markets. It's not based on your viewers. It's not based on your advertisers. It's based on, okay, I'll shill for you. Please, please, please give me the money. I mean, we knew that through all the shilling they did for that fraudulent gold company, right? But they'll do it for these huge donors as well. So they didn't win in the marketplace. New York Post, run by News Corp, which is the same company that owns Fox News, loses $50 million a year. And Richard Mel-Escape runs a Pittsburgh paper that loses over $80 million. None of these things can make it in the free market. The Weekly Standard, the neoconservative Bible magazine, is a joke. Their distribution is under 100,000. It's pathetically low. They all lose money. But they're funded by people who are going to make a lot more money when they get their tax cuts, when they don't have to listen to environmental regulations, etc. It's an investment in a bunch of sellouts to make sure that they get the policy proposals that they want. And in FreedomWorks' 2013 budget plan, we see all the different things that they give money to these groups for: Glenn Beck radio ads, Glenn Beck TV, the Blaze Action Center, and of course the Rush Limbaugh contract. And that's how this game is played. So the next time you listen to Rush Limbaugh or Glenn Beck, you know that they got paid to say what they're saying on air. Who knows what their real opinions are? But if you pay them $1 million to say that, they will definitely do it. Principles. What name so?